Thanks for joining me again. If this is your first time, welcome. I want to talk to you today about refinancing before, during, or after a divorce. It's unfortunate that you may be dealing with a divorce situation. About 40 to 50% of all marriages result in or end up in divorce. It's an unfortunate thing. But if this is the case for you, I wish that things were different for you. But now you're inquiring about how to refinance, and why you might be refinancing is because you might be trying to get your ex-spouse off of the mortgage because you want to keep the house. During the divorce settlement, you might be getting awarded the house, or you might have agreed to allow you to stay there, but you need to refinance and get your name or your ex-spouse's name off of the mortgage. So if you'd like to get pre-approved for this, we can help you at dreamhomefinancing.com. The link is in the description down below, and also the first pinned comment. There are many options to refinance, but unfortunately, people find themselves in a difficult situation when they're divorced. In some instances, you have one person who was the homemaker who was not working for the past full 2 years, and therefore is having difficulty refinancing or qualifying for a mortgage with most lenders. Most lenders will require a full 2-year work history. Some will actually require that you've been working the same job for 2 years. There are other options though. You can get this done despite not having a full 2-year work history. If you're back to work at all and you've got a credit score of at least 640, it may be possible to do this. Another issue you might have is you might be the person who is unfortunately having to make either alimony or child support payments. So that might be making it difficult for you to qualify for the mortgage that you want if you're the one that's trying to refinance the home. If that's the case, and your debt to income ratio is too high because of these payments that you have to include in your DTI calculation, there are a couple of options for you to do this. So aside from refinancing, you also have an option to sell the home. That's something you can do, but likely not what you're interested in because you want to refinance here. Or use other assets that you may have to help pay off your ex-spouse, so that way you don't have to sell the home. Now, I received a few questions from some people about this topic that I want to read to you and give the answers here on the video. Maybe these will help you. Are you required to refinance after a divorce? The answer to that really is depending upon what the outcome is of your divorce settlement. If you either have to sell the home to split the assets, or you're being asked to refinance so that way you can keep the home, then it's something you're going to have to do. But it's not necessarily required by law that after every divorce there must be a refinance. Another question is, what if we have missed mortgage payments? And I'm glad that question was asked. And I'm glad that was asked because almost every time I get a call from someone who is divorced, they say that my credit was ruined during the divorce process. My ex-spouse was supposed to make these payments and didn't, tried to hurt my credit, and both their credits are now hurt. You know, going through a divorce is difficult, and no need to make it any more difficult on either one of you by sabotaging each other's credit. So, you know, if I had to give one piece of advice to people that were going through a divorce, and mortgage-related advice, of course, because I'm not equipped to provide any other advice relating to mortgages, but I would say just take care of your credit. And of course your kids too, if you have kids, but take care of your credit, because there's no need to destroy each other's credit, especially intentionally. If you're responsible for continuing to make the mortgage payment on behalf of both of you until you get through the end of this divorce period, then do it. And if you're not responsible, if you're relying on the other person to make the payments, then I suggest you take over that responsibility if you care about your credit, because there's a good chance those payments are not being made. But if you have missed mortgage payments, because that's going back to the original question, it'll be very difficult. Most lenders will not want to grant you a new mortgage if you have late payments. FHA allows for just one late mortgage payment in the last 12 months. So it will be very difficult to get refinanced if you have been missing mortgage payments. Another question, when is the best time to refinance when getting divorced? Well, I would say that if you're able to refinance before the divorce is final, then that would be best, because then you're not dealing with that potential issue with alimony and child support and other changes that might interfere with your ability to get approved for the mortgage. Next question, is a refinance divorce buyout considered to be a rate and term refinance? Well, it's only a rate and term refinance if you're just refinancing the mortgage balance plus closing costs. If you are trying to cash out additional equity to pay off your ex-spouse their share of the equity, then it is a cash out refinance. And the final question is, how long do you have to refinance after a divorce? Well, really the truth is that depends on whether or not you were ordered to refinance per the divorce settlement. If a judge said you had 60 or 90 days to refinance for whatever reason, if that was part of the language of your divorce settlement, then that is exactly how long you have to refinance. So there's nothing in any mortgage guidelines that talks about how long you have to refinance after a divorce. This would solely be dictated by any language that came out of your divorce settlement. So hopefully that answers your question. If you are interested in refinancing, you're going through a divorce, you think it's coming up and you're just trying to plan ahead for it, you're not quite ready to refinance, we can have a conversation, get you pre-approved, and maybe help guide you into a program that works for you. So again, just visit us at dreamhomefinancing.com. We'll get that done. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time.